Hey everybody, Steve here in the Illinois recording studio. Hey, we got a video we're going to show you today about an incredible drum. This is a Ludwig super sensitive snare drum, and not the super sensitive from the 60s and 70s. This is the true super sensitive from the 20s. In the 20s, that drum, the super sensitive, had a set of snare wires all the way across the bottom, like you see there, and that's what we're used to seeing in the later 60s and 70s super sensitives. But in the early days, the true super sensitive was this extended strainer on the bottom, but also, as you can see, there's a strainer with some snare wires underneath the top head. And that is designed for extra sensitivity, so that you could have a greater snare sound in extremely quiet passages. So, and one of these snare wires on that top group of wires is loose, but this is all original. It's a beautiful heavy two-piece shell, nickel over brass. It's over 90 years old and it sounds great. And I'm going to show you all the different sound possibilities that you get out of a drum like this because of all the different strainers. So, for one, what we're going to do first here is, everything's off, right? Okay, now we put the strainer on, which is the bottom strainer by itself, okay? Now you have an internal muffler, so you could also take some overtones out. And go back to normal. Now, let's take that strainer off. Put the top strainer on. There's wires underneath the top head. And there was a tension knob here so that you could increase or decrease the tension on those top wires. And of course you got the muffler if you really needed it, but in this case you wouldn't. But you could also dampen it. Now, we're going to take those wires off. We're going to go back to the bottom strainer. And we're going to do the bottom strainer and the top strainer both at the same time. Both together, just the top, just the bottom, bottom and the top, with the top a little looser. And you can use the muffler if you really want to. A little more. A little bit more. Take that muffler off. So, you can see there's a bunch of different variations there. One thing you don't ever want to do when you've got those top wires engaged is to really be cranking on it and hitting that hard, because you don't want to break those wires. That's used for extra sensitive playing. But if you really have to crank it up, take those off, you're going to be just fine. So, this again, from the very, very early 30s, great drum, a lot of possibilities. You'll see it up in our reverb store. We've got it up there for sale. Don't miss it.